Okay, so my name's Theran Seaton, and I'm a second year, actually, print media major. I have a previous bachelor's degree from McGill, and that's pretty much like my introduction. I've been working with like fabrics and screen printing and textiles and paper printing for maybe 5 years. And I also make like hanging sculpture, like mobiles with found objects and stuff. So the image I chose was June Clark's Diptych 2 from her formative triptych. And the reason why I chose it was because I was really, the text really inspired me because I'm also a writer. So I love the idea to use past writings in a project. So I jumped on the opportunity to do that. And also the fact that she was playing with imagery from her past, presumably, because there's pictures, and I've seen the other two, and they're kind of like archived photos and heirloomed photos and written with text underneath it. So I like the match of the text and the images. But I wanted to apply that to fabric because we're in a fibers class. So the relation between my work and the image. Well, I play with text, and I'm also playing with dyeing right now. So in my project, this was a way for me to kind of pay homage to her because I really liked her image and her writing, but do it in my own fashion. So part of my project is a little bit of an installation, and she had an installation, so automatically I asked my teacher that I wanted to have like a little installation. So this is going to be, I think, probably part one for hopefully being a 3-part kind of like installation to do with the whole diptych thing. So yeah, I'm going to have an installation, and it's going to be probably like curtains. So I had a little maquette that I drew on Photoshop. And so basically it's going to be a curtain with resisted material. So basically resisted material, it's this Japanese way of dyeing where you're able to put stones, which I dyed with stones, and marbles, and you wrap them with elastics or butcher cord to create patterns. And so in order for it to be personal, I decided that every time I was going to wrap a marble or a stone in the fabric, it would relate to a memory that I had. So that way that you're able to like touch my memory. So it's like there's a tactility thing involved. And I decided I was going to work with brown because I liked earth tones and I wanted to feel comfortable. And also I looked it up, and brown's the color of comfort. So I'm playing with browns and woods. Wood because like my dad and his dad were cabinet makers. And so my grandfather was big into cabinet making, and I kind of took a wood cutting. So I cut through wood, relief wood cutting. So I've always had this kind of affinity towards wood. And so even the heirlooms, because I'm going to have heirlooms in my installation, they're all wood related and stuff like that. So yeah, I like a lot of wood. I also like denim, and I might have like some denim pieces in the mix too. So yeah, every time I dyed the fabric, I resisted it. I basically thought about a memory from my childhood. This one's actually supposed to represent like lovers that I've had in my life. So the marbles represented like kind of men. So I called this one Marbles and Men because it was kind of like a little play, Steinbeck, of mice and men. This one I decided that my grandfather, he created this like little ottoman stool because my grandmother always wanted like the latest furniture. So he kind of made it so that she can replace the top, like, what's it called? Reupholster. So I got it a couple years ago when I first moved out. So I decided that I was going to create a piece of fabric to reupholster the little ottoman, and I was going to bring the ottoman to class. So that's why I'm bringing heirlooms, because they kind of represent my past, and they're kind of the items as I've moved, they've still stayed with me. So they're kind of like part of my little exhibit. And so yeah, this one was, I'm also including like poetry that I've written, I mentioned that, but also photos. So photos of my childhood, and the poem that I wrote, it's about my childhood home. So that's why I have childhood pictures of my house, like me and my siblings. Our old front tree, which was beautiful, that I was able to look through my old photos and find many of them. And my parents. And I also like the quality of the photo. It's kind of brownish, like sepia. So yeah, I've been playing with a lot of browns recently. Yeah, so for the bigger piece, which I'm going to find a way, it's actually 7 feet of velvet. And I have to find a way to drape it for my installation. But all the marks are like stones. So whenever I had like, my dad was an alcoholic. So one of them was a stone of his alcoholism, as I'm remembering. And the physical process to dye, which I'm not sure if everyone knows what it is, but it takes about like 4 hours to dye. You have to weigh out all your chemicals and your salts and your pigments, and it's like a chemical process. And every time you have to take your material out and you have to wring it. So it's kind of physical. So I'm like kind of like wringing the rocks. And like afterwards, I did this Monday and my body hurt Tuesday. I was like, okay, I'm not going to the gym. That was enough for the day. So yeah, it's physical and it's heavy. The 7 feet of velvet with all the rocks, like these are actually the stuff that I resisted with. And I had to carry it around with me, and I felt like I was carrying almost like a burden. So the weight became, I don't know, it's a symbolizing for like the stuff that I've been through. And then now when I resisted it, it's all lighter and it's luxurious. So the reason why I chose velvet was because, you know, I dealt with poverty when I was younger, and now I'm able to afford a 7-piece foot of velvet, and I'm resisting my memories on this beautiful cloth, and it's more lightweight and it's really pretty. So that's a way of kind of like negotiating the past. And okay, so yeah, my piece within my artistic practice. Okay, yeah, dealing with memories for anybody is hard, and so that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to use it as a therapy. And I kind of needed it because now I feel a lot better. Like I have the material here, I've talked about it, and it's kind of, I'm using it as a therapeutic way. And I think like any artist can enjoy that kind of oeuvre in their work. Yeah.